My name's Omar Mohammed, and I'm from Chilliwack. I live in a halfway house. I'm a lifer. I've had addiction issues since I was 12. I've served 38 years on prison and parole. And I came into contact by going to church in an institution about 8 years ago. And there was Catholic Charity volunteers there. And coming from an old convict, it was strange in a good way to have people talk in a kind manner. That's something that we're just not used to. And I continued going to church, met with volunteers, and this continued when I was granted parole 5 years ago. And I've met with Catholic Charity volunteers on a fairly regular basis ever since. And they've had a big impact in my life in that they were my friends. I went to church with them. They were a good role model for me. And it's not just me. I know I can speak for a lot of prisoners inside that come into contact with Catholic Charities. And it can't be understated what a life-changing experience it can be for some guys.
I recruit volunteers for prison ministry, for supporting released offenders into the community, and to working with offenders and their families and victims of crime. I would really like to speak to the general population, people who haven't been to prison before, to motivate them to volunteer with Catholic Charities. If you ask most of them what they think of prisons, they'll say it's a dark, scary place. But if you ask prison volunteers to name the place that they visit that's most rewarding and fulfilling, they will probably answer prison. They find the face of Jesus in very unlikely places and people. And if only we could get this message across about prison ministry, that is the most rewarding and fulfilling place. And all the recent studies in North America show that prison ministry is the #1 ministry in parish outreach, and encourage everyone to let go of what they've heard in the media and the fear and just come and experience the presence of God in those who have been redeemed and are forgiven by God, part of our human family, and we tend to exclude them.
I'm Margaret, Kingsland, and I'm a prison volunteer. I've been volunteering in the prison for about 15 years. We've had many volunteers saying that when we used to come in once a week, and they would say that they've been looking for us all week, and they're happy to see us. When you mention it, a lot of people right away will think, oh, you go into the prisons. And I guess from a selfish point of view, one of the things is my own personal growth, that I have grown as a person since I've been in there. I've learned to be more caring, more loving, and it's made me more conscious of God's love, and we want to pass on God's love to all the men there. I'd invite anyone that wants to grow and that loves God and wants to spread God's word and love people to come into the prisons, because that is such a strong way of spreading His word, His love.
When we're in prison, and although we're guilty for what we've done, it's hard to look around and see God. You know, when there's huge amounts of prison violence and lockdowns and all that. And it's really hard to see God. And I've come to the conclusion that the Catholic Charity volunteers are almost representing God when they come into these guys. And then we can see, this is what the Bible talks about, love. And we get to see, excuse me, we get to see God in a way by these good people coming in. So, like I say, it's life-changing. And you know, I thank everybody.